Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And today I am very excited to bring to you from the Transformers Robots in Disguise Combiner Force subline. This is Robots in Disguise. You know, the last cartoon, the last season was subtitled Combiner Force. They brought combiners in, Crash combiners. You had 3, 5 robot combiner. It just went off the air 3 months ago. You people don't even... When something goes off the air, that's when it goes off of television at the season. Oh, never mind. This is the Crash combiners of Saberhorn and Bisk. Saberhorn is here on the left. Bisk is here on the right. While we've gotten several different versions of Bisk, we have a Warrior Class, Legion, and 3-step changer. This is the first time we're seeing Saberhorn in any type of action figure form. Like the other Crash combiners, they do form a combined robot. This time it's called Saberclaw. So instead of just merging the names together, they had a little fun with it. And while these are still simplified figures, the overall transformation and look is a little bit better than what we first got with like Prime Strong or B-Sides. So we're just going to get into it, and we're going to start right now taking a look at Bisk. Okay, Bisk looks a lot like its traditional vehicle mode that we've seen several times already. It was kind of interesting that Bisk, when Robots in Disguise was first previewed, was the first villain we saw, but we actually didn't get that full episode and full reveal until like several episodes in, and I don't think we got a Bisk toy until the second year of the toy line, and it actually been some months since the character first showed up on the show. But transformation is very simple. Let's just get into it. What I recommend is come down to the front here, push in on the front. That will help flip the feet out. They snap out from the front there. They do snap into place. You can then go ahead and stand the figure up just like so, like every other Crash combiner. Come in here to the chest. Struggle like a man-child trying to pop it open. Bisk's head is on the chest flap there. You want to rotate it out until it sort of soft frictions into place. Peg it back in. And then instead of pulling the arms out to the side, you go ahead and flip up what are supposed to be his little claws. So while we don't have the lateral arm movement, we have some forward arm movement, it's still very limited. So you want to go ahead and just return this back to vehicle mode to prepare it for its combination. So just reverse everything that I just said. And there you go. It is a nice little car mode. So we'll pause, and we'll take a look at Saberhorn. Okay, so Saberhorn was a later addition to the series, and I kind of figured by that point it was not going to get a figure, but it does look very nice, and I would have liked to have seen a larger version of this character. One thing I do want to mention is that what's kind of cool, you do have like a little beetle face, or whatever, insect face right there, so that is kind of cool. But start the transformation. You want to grab the front here and rotate it up. It will click into place, a little soft click. Then come around here on the bottom, and to help cover up that insect face, you want to flip down these sections here. That'll form his legs. Go ahead and separate them slightly. You don't want to go too far. And then while doing that, you can, of course, bring the arms out to the side. Unfortunately, the arms here do move laterally. Go ahead, open up the chest. And Saberhorn's head is actually connected to the chest here, but there is a nice little tab that will help. It's connected to the main body, so that'll help. Tab there will help flip it up. And there you go, and there's Saberhorn in its robot mode. You know, these simplified figures, they do give you a nice little bit of detail there on the head. So I think that was kind of cool. So now, of course, for combination, we got to go back into well, in this case, insect mode. So go ahead, and if you notice, there is like a little slot there for the horn to fit in. So you just go ahead, bring that down, close that back up, bring the legs back, the arms back down, peg the legs back together. I find it easier to do it from the back here, and then grab that front and rotate these legs back up and bring the front part here back down, and that will clip into place. And basically, when it's flush right there, you know it's done. So yeah, that's basically how you do it. So all that's left is to bring in Bisk, and we'll do that right now for the combination into Saberclaw. Okay, so I have brought Bisk and Saberclaw together, and it's time to combine. So we'll just start off by turning them around. They're going to combine back to back. They do have those little connector pieces, and just bring them, put them together, and you'll see that Bisk will spring open. That'll form the upper torso. There is some transformation to do with Saberclaw here. First, what you want to do is go ahead and bring that front section back up again, forming the lower limbs, lower leg there. And then come inside, come around the back, I should say, bring those leg sections down, and then go ahead and separate the legs all the way. They should snap into place. That'll form the legs of the combined robot. At the same time, go ahead up on Bisk, and what were the claws for the smaller robot, you're going to flip down, and those are going to form the pinchers for the combined mode, so that you can turn around, go ahead, bend them up at the elbow, and there you have Saberclaw in its robot mode. Right off the bat, one thing I want to mention that I do like is the inclusion of the metallic purple paint here as a way to unify the look. Also, let's take a look at that head. That head's really cool. It is combining elements of both Bisk and Saberclaw. Do have a nice horn there. I do like you can, because of the nature of the forming of the claws, you do have a little bit of the articulation. But besides the elbows, this thing is basically still a brick. But the gimmick of these figures are the combining. And I think they do that really well in a genius way. And actually, I would have liked to have seen this carried over in the main line. This type of transformation would have been perfect to do with the Duocons, instead of the separate Legend figures we got, where that unique gimmick was removed. But yeah, we'll pause, and I'll give you my final thoughts. In all seriousness, when Saberclaw and Primelock were revealed a few months ago, I kind of scratched my head because I really didn't feel that there was a need, interest, or demand for more Crash combining figures. I think by the time they would see release, the series would be over and people would have moved on and forgotten. Well, I still feel that way, but I'm kind of glad I have this because it is a cool and fun figure. Now, I got this from an overseas seller. I did pay a premium because that's the nature of the beast. I don't know if these are going to show up in stores. Right now, as of this recording, which is February 2018, brick and mortar retailers are trying to get rid of Last Night Toys, the last few strains of Robots in Disguise, and Powers of the Primes. The Wave 2 figures are just start to trickling out. I don't know if there's a shelf space or a demand for these new Crash combiners. I mean, to be honest, we're still waiting on Legion figures that were supposed to be released months ago. Cyclonus and Heatseeker. We just got the Warriors, Thermidor, Bludgeon, and Twinferno. And Legion Twinferno was released some months ago. I would much rather see Cyclonus and Heatseeker get a chance at being released properly without having to pay online premiums, which, to be honest with you, can't even do that because they're not even there. They were released so far long ago overseas, they're kind of off the shelves there. So, I mean, I like to see as I'm saying, I like to see those first, then the new Crash Combiners. That's not to say these aren't cool. I mean, I am really looking forward to see how Prime Lock comes together. But the seller didn't have that one yet, which kind of concerns me because how exactly these were supposed to come out at the same time. So if the Crash Combiners are trickling out, who knows if or when they will see a North American release. This is your old pal Chuck for Saberhorn, Bisk, and Saberclaw. We will see you next time.